All right.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way of the Media Madmen Podcast. We're gonna talk about the most bland Star Wars movie I think I've ever seen.
And we can do it warm or we can do it cold.
That's right.
I'd like to do it warm.
Okay. Hutson, what did you think of the first theatrically released Star Wars movie in 7 years, The Mandalorian and Grogu?
Okay, I actually have a different opinion than you, I think. I actually liked it. Did I think it was a cinematic masterpiece? No. Did I expect it to be a cinematic masterpiece? No. My letterbox review for this movie is, it was a fun movie. And that's what everyone seems to be saying, is that it was fun. Like, you walk,
I disagree.
You go to your coworker at work, you say, hey, did you go see the Star Wars Grogu? Did you go see Mandalorian Grogu movie? They say, yeah. You say, what'd you think of it? You say, I thought it was fun.
See, I think it, I don't know, did you catch this, that it felt like you could very clearly tell where episodes were supposed to end?
Yeah, I saw this one podcast, they're popular on TikTok, they broke it down. I think they're called the Escape Pod. But they broke it down and they literally broke down every part where you could end the episode and begin the next one.
Yep.
And I will admit, I see where people are not pleased with the movie because it did feel like one long Mandalorian episode and it was just mission after mission. It was just like, watch Mandalorian and Grogu go on a mission. Mm-hmm. And that was one of my complaints about it, which was, I thought the plot was an interesting take on, having to go rescue Jabba the Hutt's son, but I would have liked.
See, that's just, dude. I don't know. I was so, it wasn't like the worst movie I've ever seen or anything like that. I didn't have high expectations. I didn't care. So, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was let down by The Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't care. But I was still
my day is ruined! The Mandalorian Grogu movie sucked!
It was just the most, bland thing I've ever seen.
I disagree, dude. I don't think it was that bland, bro. I think it's low-key getting overhated. But I do think it's appropriately
It's not even that. I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination.
People are hating on it.
I will say this, that I do think the worst Star Wars movies, the prequels, I'm not a big fan of as movies. Mm-hmm. The sequels, I'm 1.5 of them I'm not a big fan of as movies. But in retrospect, those at least had an emotional connection that I could latch on to.
Well, dude, what are you talking about, bro? The Mandalorian and Grogu? You weren't emotionally connected?
I know, but the Mandalorian, he doesn't. He's like very Clint Eastwood in The Good, Bad, and the
Ugly. He's a space cowboy.
Yeah, he's a space cowboy samurai dude. I like that too. I think that works for a TV show, but when you're a movie, you need an emotional connection.
All right, I'm gonna rant. Okay. I think that TV shows, specifically TV show dramas, do not adapt well to movies. Okay? They've done it several times. I might get some flack for this, but specifically the Breaking Bad movie that they released, El Camino. Yeah, right. I love it. I think it was great. But I'm not going to go to the movies, and I do look at it as one long Breaking Bad episode. Right. Because Breaking Bad in the TV show is my favorite TV show of all time. And I do love El Camino because it's a nice ending to Jesse. But overall though, I just don't think that TV shows adapt well to movies. And I think that was fundamentally the issue. And what I would have liked them to have done with a movie is make it more a movie a Star Wars sequel movie one of the sequels, where they have like an actual threat that they're trying to stop, rather than just like, I know he's a bounty hunter, but like, and you could argue that the Hutts were an actual threat, but like, they're not really. I didn't feel that way. I would like to have seen them do General Thrawn, I think his name is. Let me find it in my notes. His name is
Admiral Thrawn.
Admiral Thrawn. Yeah, Admiral Thrawn. And I would have liked to have seen him be the villain in the show, because he's an actual like bad guy, because he's in the Star Wars Rebel TV show, which I haven't watched, but they were pulling a lot of content and a lot of characters from that show.
Yeah, this is like the Dave Filoni shit. He did like the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
and
specifically Zeb, who's in the show, and who's like the new character. He's the purple, like, I don't even know how you would describe him.
Oh, is he the pilot?
Yeah, he was the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
what is he's like a monkey? Like, he's not a monkey. I don't know how to describe him, but like a wolf monkey man.
Right.
But he's in the Star Wars Rebel show, and this is another thing that might frustrate Star Wars fans, but I'm actually not. I haven't watched all of the Clone Wars, and I haven't watched Rebels, because I'm not the biggest fan of the 3D animation. I prefer like a cartoon style. That's just my personal preference. I know that there's really good storylines in there that I should put that aside just to watch. But regardless, watching that movie did make me want to go check out that show, because it does seem like they're drawing a lot of content and ideas from that show there. But regardless, I want to see General Thrawn as the bad guy, because they were setting him up in season 3. It seems like they're maybe going to do that in season 4.
I didn't even finish season 3.
Yeah,
I think I got like 3, maybe 4 episodes in, and I just completely checked out.
Yeah, so I would say that that's my main complaints for the movie, but I will say what I like. The intro was badass. Like, it started out hot. I loved watching the Mandalorian be a badass again. Versus season 3.
Yeah, that intro was the best action scene of the movie.
Yeah, dude. Like,
which is like, it's like you start your movie out like pretty strong with that, and then the no action scene tops that afterwards.
Yeah, and it starts out with the score, which I was telling you before the pod. I think that the Mandalorian score is better than the Star Wars score.
Yeah, it's
Star Wars is more iconic, but I think the Mandalorian is like way cooler. It might be one of my favorite scores of all time.
I think the guy that did the score is the guy who did Sinners, and he did like Oppenheimer, or Ludwig Göransson, or something like that. Ludwig Göransson. I think he just won the Oscar for the Sinners score.
Yeah, let's shout him out, Ludwig. Yo,
yeah,
dude,
that was one thing. That was honestly my favorite part about the movie. Was the score.
Then, he takes out those. He takes out like a shit ton of stormtroopers, bro. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, this is badass, bro. And I went and saw it with my girlfriend. And every time Grogu like came in the shot, like, she was like laughing. Like, he was a really good comic relief that didn't feel forced just because of his character. Like, he's so cute.
I agree, but that's like I'm fine with Grogu being cute, but to me that's all this movie had to it was cute Grogu.
But it's for the kids. Like, when I was in the theater, I saw a bunch of kids in there, and I was like,
it's for the kids, but there's also like a lot of violent action. I feel like tonally too, like that. Like, you got cute Grogu and the cute like Babu Frik characters.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Those guys are
so
cool.
Funny.
Those guys are cool. And
they're a new iconic Star Wars character. They're like the new Ewoks.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And I will say the two best things about this movie for me were the music, like we already talked about, and the puppets and stop motion. Which was like those two big robots he fought at the end when Grogu like went inside, and
those not CGI.
Nope, those were stop motion.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's badass.
Yeah, so that was cool. I like the little Babu Frik guys. I like all the puppets and the practical filmmaking aspects of this movie, which I think you have to have when you're making Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's part of what made Star Wars iconic, was all those creature designs.
Yeah,
and
also the droids as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so like you need to have that. So I'm glad that they did that. And I'm glad that Grogu has always been a puppet. I know that there's like soft CGI on him, or no?
Well, they just touch him up, yeah.
Yeah, they have to. But overall, though, I like the idea of him being a bounty hunter fighting for the
New Republic.
The New Republic, and going after Imperial officers. I liked that idea that he was doing that at the beginning, and that was his main mission. Like I said earlier, I would have liked them to stay on that track and be like, "Here's the biggest one. We need General."
I think my grievance with the movie, like I said, I'm not mad at it. I think I'm more so I was just kind of bored.
You were bored?
It felt very long to me. Like, it was only 2 hours and 12 minutes, and I felt like I was sitting in there for like 3 hours.
Nah, dude. I think I don't know, dude. Do you think it's because we're getting older?
No, I think if a movie is entertaining, even if the target demo is for kids, like, I'll still sit there and enjoy it.
Fair. Like, the OG Star Wars are really good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just, for me personally, like, I don't think that the Mandalorian is an interesting character. I think that's fine when you're in like an isolated like little TV show where you have like little 20, 30-minute episodes and it's a man with no name going around collecting bounties.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or no face.
Yeah. With a movie, you need like an emotional connection, and you could argue that the emotional connection is Mandalorian and Grogu, but he has that line where he's like, the old protect the young and then the young protect the old.
Yeah.
But Grogu's already saved Mando like a bunch of times and protected him, so that line just kind of felt
Mando
empty.
saves Grogu. He takes care of him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like the point of that line is the young then protect the old, and we've already seen Grogu protect him from like the jump.
I mean, maybe they're just like, putting it in your face. Hey, guys.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be honest. I didn't even write any notes down for this movie because I knew what my thoughts on it were. My more so like interest in this movie lies in the direction that Star Wars is, like, where it's going to go from here, because I think this was very clearly written as a fourth season of the show.
No.
Yeah, because you could feel where episodes were supposed to end.
Yeah, but
like that, it
kind of felt like season 3.5.
The Imperial,
like they did with Boba Fett.
Yeah, but like
season 2.5.
The Imperial guy that like he goes and gets and brings to Sigourney Weaver. Like he just brings her to him like halfway through the movie, and then that guy's out of the movie for the rest of the duration.
You're right. It was like a lot of missions and like just mission after mission.
There didn't feel like a very like clear and concise story. Oh, I will say one other thing that I liked was the puppet, or not the puppet, the CGI like kind of monkey with a bunch of arms. Chef.
Yeah,
that was Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
That was Martin Scorsese. I thought he did a great job voice acting. He was like the most.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the most. I saw him in the credits and I was like, Martin Scorsese, and I thought he by far gave the most like energetic performance. I think you should have had that character.
Apparently,
around a
Dave
bit more.
Filoni was in the movie, but I never noticed him.
Yeah, he had when Mando's bringing in that Imperial guy to Sigourney Weaver. He has like a cameo. He's in like a cowboy hat, and then he's he's one of the like X-wing fighters at the end.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I didn't. But one thing though, like, within the story was I thought it was interesting how they included the Hutts or the twins, but I thought there should have been more of a high stake villain, like I was saying earlier. But with Rada though, dude, I'm on the fence on his character design. Because like I know it's Star Wars and like they always do like the weird like Jar Jar Binks and like they have like the most unique like alien character designs like ever, right?
Right.
But like, dude, he was like jacked, and like my girlfriend when we were watching the movie, she like leans over me and she's like, he's kind of sexy. I'm like, dude, what are you saying?
Do you think that for me, the Hutts in general were jarring because the Hutts have always, other than like Phantom Menace, but like when you think of Jabba the Hutt, you think of the big puppet from Return of the Jedi, and these were CGI, like, and it didn't look bad. I don't know. I just could not care less.
But what about the gladiator scene? I felt like that scene
that was cool.
Like, it was cool because it was a callback to Attack the Clones. And I don't know if you caught this either, but there's a shot where they're in an Imperial like base and they have one of the aliens that was trying to kill Padme. That like was kind of like he was like a lizard with fur. And he had a wide mouth. I don't know what that. You know what I'm talking about, though. He had like the really sharp teeth. He was on the wall.
Yeah,
but
I did. Did you catch with that whole gladiator scene? That was a reference to the board game on the Millennium Falcon that Chewbacca plays.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and it was even like designed the same way.
Oh, I thought
that was like a clever reference.
I thought they were just ripping off Thor Ragnarok.
No, I think that was like wholly inspired by Chewbacca's game.
Okay, yeah. No, I didn't know that. That's actually really cool.
It's a clever reference, and that's the thing is like I'm not mad. I didn't like have any expectations for this movie. I was just very bored throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
even the prequels, which I don't like and the sequels, I can find enjoyable elements to them.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Like, I enjoyed it. I guess maybe I didn't have that high expectations because I felt that the marketing for this movie was, like, really, like, low. Like, I wasn't seeing ads for it anywhere like I had normally do for other movies, especially for a Star Wars movie.
Right.
I know that they obviously did marketing, but I don't know. I wanted to go see it Friday, but I was busy, and I ended up seeing it on Monday. And, like, I kind of like forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh, it's Monday. Like, let's go see
Mandalorian
Grogu. Like, we were gonna do that this weekend.
Yeah.
But and I kind of forgot about it. And I was like, should I wait for it to come on Disney Plus? But I was like, nah, I want to go see it in the theater because
I think it would benefit your viewing experience if you did watch this on Disney Plus in like chunks as season 4.
You don't want to watch it in chunks.
I mean, you can because you can feel where like episodes are supposed to end.
Dude, you're disrespecting the movie way too much.
No,
Could you imagine you make a Star Wars movie and some asshole on the internet is like, "Hey, just watch it on Disney Plus, but you can watch it in chunks." No, dude, go see it in the movie.
I know, and that's the thing is, Jon Favreau made this movie, made Iron Man, and was like one of the godfathers of the MCU, and he made Elf. And it's not like any of his like direction or any of that stuff that's like lacking. It's just the story. I was just very bored by the story.
It did feel a lot closer to season 3 than it did like season 1 and 2.
I would say if this came out, I would say I enjoyed this movie more than I did anything about season 3.
Yeah, I did too. But what I'm saying is like if there's a needle on like peak Mandalorian versus crap Mandalorian, I would say it's leaning just a little bit more towards season 3 on like the writing, the world building that they've done, the dialogue, things like that. It did feel, but it wasn't as much as season 3 was, where it was just like too goofy.
Yeah.
And I think that they found a balance. I would just like them to go more back to like season 1, season 2, and I don't know. I mean, I just don't care about Star Wars anymore. But like, if I am going to watch Star Wars, I don't really care about like the references of characters who are in Rebels and Clone Wars. Like, I don't care about any of that shit. I mean, but like, it's new though. It's new
fine.
To audiences that haven't seen it.
Yeah, and that's fine if the story's engaging. But the story was just so fucking boring.
Yeah, the plot, like
what is the plot? What is the plot?
Okay, the plot is a lot. But we can go over that. You might dismantle my arguments, but I had a good feeling when I
can't tell you what to say. The plot.
Okay, I'll tell you the plot. Okay?
the only
Mandalorian
plot
goes on a mission with Grogu to stop ex-Imperial officers. And then he comes up with a big mission where he has to save Jabba the Hutt's son. All right? But then Jabba the Hutt's son is like, nah, dude, I like being a gladiator. I only got one more fight. And Mandalorian's like, I have a job, though. And he's like, I don't care about your job. And he's like, well, I do. So I'm going to save you. And then he goes and fights these monsters like a badass. And then after the fight, he's like, all right, I'm bringing you back. I'm trying to get some information. He's like, dude, I had that information the whole time. The whole gladiator scene was pointless. But he's like, you have the information I need? All right, I'll save you, do the right thing, and capture this asshole. They do that, but then he ends up getting captured by another faceless bounty hunter that we never got their name, and then Grogu has to save him. And then he dies, but Grogu saves him again. And then they go kill the Hutts after he fights a badass snake monster lizard guy.
I like that snake monster. That was cool.
And then
that felt like it would have been a really cool like conclusion to like the season 4, like a finale or whatever.
It's a space western, bro.
I know it's a space western, but the story should at least be engaging. That was the other thing, is that with when he's trying to convince what's his name, Rabba, the Hutt, when he's like telling him like, oh, they're gonna kill you, and he's like, no, man, like I'm just gotta win this last fight and then I'm free. And there's nothing in the story that ever, name me one thing in the story that like surprised you, or like, you know, you're supposed to go from like point A to B to C to F to like, you know, get your audience like engaged with your movie.
I say Mandalorian getting captured. That was an A to B to C to F.
I just looked at that as like, oh, this is very clearly like end of second act. Like, oh, characters are at their low points and shit. Like, I was just so bored throughout.
The title of the movie is literally called The Mandalorian Grogu.
I know, and the problem is that the Mandalorian is not an interesting character for a movie.
How dare you?
Dude, okay, and also, you cannot convince me, nobody can convince me that Pedro Pascal was not on set other than the scene where his mask goes off.
Why would he be? Why would you?
I don't.
They're going to pay you $50 million? Why would you be on the set if you don't need to be?
No, I agree. But like, it just felt like all of his dialogue was like recorded in a sound booth and it's very monotone.
Of course it was.
He shows like no emotion though, which is fine.
He never does.
I know, but it's fine for it. But like, you need your movie character to like have something to him.
He's not supposed to have emotions. He's the Mandalorian.
Well, who the hell are you? I think the character you're supposed to latch onto then is Rabba.
I'll tell you this. You're saying the Mandalorian has no emotion, but you're telling me that movie didn't draw an emotional reaction out of you?
No.
Dude, my girlfriend was bawling her eyes out when Mandalorian died. And it was actually really funny. It was really cute. But like when Mandalorian's dying and Grogu's like saving him and stuff, and he like builds a little hut over him.
Yeah.
And he goes inside. Like I look over and my girlfriend's crying. I'm like, dude, are you crying? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. And like I put my hand out, and then like I look over, she's like, I'm gonna kill myself. and then she looks up, and because she just is like cuteness overload, and she like looks up, and then Grogu is like cuddling Mandalorian, and she just goes, fuck. Starts crying again. I was like, oh my God,
I know,
bro.
But, okay, yeah, that's fine.
So
but
like, just because you're a stone cold movie critic, movie bro, and you're thinking that this isn't like a cinematic masterpiece.
I don't care if it's a cinematic masterpiece. I just wanted it to
Martin
be fun and
Scorsese thought it was good enough to be in.
I think he thought his paycheck was good enough to do voice work for an hour.
That may be true.
No, okay, but see, like, okay, that's fine. But like for me, like there was never any moment in this movie where I was like, there was never any moment where I was like, oh my God, the Mandalorian's gonna die. Oh no, like. I know it's gonna happen.
Oh, dude! Before the movie too, my girlfriend, she was like, "Do you think the Mandalorian's gonna die?" And I was like, "No, dude, they're not gonna kill like the Mandalorian."
Yeah,
like,
he's the most profitable thing Disney Star Wars has made.
And I was like, "Do you think they're gonna kill Grogu?" And she was like, "I'd sue. If they killed Grogu, I'd sue them." I was like, "You're gonna sue Disney?"
Yeah.
She's like, "I would."
I will say, Grogu, from a marketing perspective, is like the most genius thing ever.
Oh yeah, it sells so much. Like I was looking around the room and like we have like so many like Grogu figurines. Like we have like a Lego set, like a life size doll Grogu. We've got like a Funko Pop Grogu, like bunch of like Grogu bookmarks, like pencils, Grogu Band-Aids. Like they sell so much stuff off of Grogu, like it's genius. So I guess they don't really give a shit if
no, they don't care.
And it already made its money back, by the way, off the first weekend, which is like a win. But I don't think that they were expecting this movie to be like the highest grossing Star Wars movie of all time.
No. I don't think it, and that's a positive I'll say about it, is that I don't think that it was made with any like pretensions. Like I don't think Jon Favreau was like being pretentious about delivering anything more than it was.
I was thinking about this too. I still think the last episode of season 2 was like way better than this movie.
Oh, see, I don't like the last episode of season 2.
Where CGI Luke Skywalker comes in? You don't like that?
No.
Dude, you're telling me that shit did that shit give you blue balls or something?
No, it didn't give me blue balls. I just don't want to see.
They're like, they've got those really cool droids. I don't know what that model of droid is called, but that is like one of my favorite.
Yeah, you're talking about where
designs.
it's mirroring the Rogue One Darth Vader scene, but it's Luke.
Yeah,
right?
They're trapped in that room. They don't know where to go, and then you see the X-wing come in. You're like, no. Is that Luke? Like, no, that's not Luke. And then you see the freaking hood, and you're like,
okay.
No, that's not Luke. And then the green lightsaber, you're like, dude, that's fucking Luke Skywalker. And then you see
Are you gonna cream your pants?
I already did. But then
because
you see
saw something you recognized.
Don't discredit that. That is peak nerd shit. Okay. How many nerds do you think have jerked off to that scene?
A lot.
I'd say
here's my issue with
11.
that scene is that it is really emotional, like Mando having to let Grogu go, but I'm distracted the whole time by CGI shitty looking Luke Skywalker.
I think that they should have got Sebastian Stan for that.
Do it here. But here's the reason they don't do that is because
they'll fix the CGI in the future, bro.
No. Look, I'm gonna break down for you why they keep leaning on de-aged actors rather than recasting with a younger guy.
Tell me why, Sam.
Rogue One was CGI dead actor galore. You had Princess Leia. You had Grand Moff Tarkin, the old Imperial officer from A New Hope.
Yeah.
And then that was the first spinoff movie that was very successful. And then they did Solo a couple years later. That had a recasted Han Solo, didn't do so well, so they were like, oh, this succeeded because we brought CGI actor. This is like, in my head, this is what I imagine like studio executives like, oh, well, this is successful because we brought CGI actors back and people were impressed by that. But then when we did the Han Solo recast movie, which I think, in terms of like, I guess the 3 spin-off movies now, I'd say Solo is my favorite.
No, dude, I like Mando Grogu versus
oh, no,
Solo.
no. I like Solo. I think Solo.
Dude, I don't even remember Solo. And it doesn't fucking Darth Maul come in that movie?
Yeah, that's a bad part of that movie. That's one thing that shouldn't be in that movie.
I gotta admit, I think, who's the actor that plays Han Solo?
The young Han Solo?
Yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Okay. Mr. Ehrenreich.
What do you think?
I thought the performance was forgettable.
Well, what do you know?
But then again, you did have
He had big shoes
to fill. The Harrison Ford.
I think it was just
How are you supposed to do that? Star Wars shouldn't have made that movie. They shouldn't have made that movie.
I agree, because when I didn't even see that in the theaters, when it came out, I was like, well, I don't want to see someone other than Harrison Ford play Han Solo. Also, Han Solo had just died like 3 years before.
They gotta make their money.
But they gotta make their money.
I would have preferred CGI Harrison Ford. AI Harrison Ford. Give me AI Harrison Ford right now.
Speaking of AI, I thought that you know who Sigourney Weaver is, right? the old lady in Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah, but
who he
like,
keeps
what's
bringing
she
the bounties
from?
to.
What's she from?
Alien.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, when she was in her X-wing, like flying around at the end, I think that was AI.
Dude, okay, I was going to say, I saw some people saying that they liked the CGI in this movie. They thought it was good. I'm on the fence about it. Like, the Zeb character, he was CGI. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, I was like, it would have been cool if they would have done like a human costume for that.
Yeah.
But it would have been hard to do that because
But it's fine.
Like,
You're making a
face.
You're making a Star Wars movie.
But he actually has a face on like Chewbacca, who's like hairy. You can like easily like.
I think with that, because I mean, I don't really care if the CGI is bad or good as long as the story is engaging. Like Infinity War has some shaky CGI in parts, but like very engaging movie. So like you don't really think about it. I think with this, like they had the cool things with the stop motion robots and the puppets of Grogu and Babu Friks and stuff that this like specifically with the Hutts for me, and then the pilot guy, it makes that CGI like stand out a lot more.
Dude, what did you think of the Jabba the Hutt fight scene?
It was boring and stupid.
Dude,
They're just like rolling around.
I thought it was really weird, bro. Like when I was watching it, dude, I was thinking, okay, like it's cool that he's fighting, but like, bro, the way that they're fighting was not like cinematically like appealing, like I think visually appealing, like whatsoever. Like the way that they were, I mean, like yeah, there's slugs and stuff, and like, but dude, I thought it looked so weird. I was like, it's like this could sound mean, but I was like, is this what fat people look like when they fight?
But like, I don't know. When you think of like Jabba the Hutt is like a cool and intimidating character because he's like a mob boss, and he's very very just kind of sits and he's like stoic and stuff. And then when you like imagine like in Return of the Jedi, if Jabba the Hutt started like throwing hands, that would be awful.
Dude, it's weird.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
What'd you think of Rada's voice?
Oh, that's Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah. What'd you think of his voice?
I don't know.
I mean, like,
I don't think I give a shit enough.
It didn't fit the Jabba, like, because like Jabba Hutt's got that like grungy like slimy voice. The twins had it, and he just sounds like a white guy.
Yeah, I think one thing too is like Jabba. I think he speaks like a couple of lines in English in the original trilogy. But for the most part, he's speaking like an alien language with subtitles. And like when they kept speaking English, it was like throwing me off.
Yeah, that was a weird choice.
The one I did have a complaint about, like the action. Like we said, the opening action scene was the best scene of the best action that the movie had. When Mando was in the snake pit or whatever, he like brought that weapon up out of nowhere, like he just found an old weapon.
No, that was one of the weapons of the the henchmen,
like who had been down there before.
No, I'm pretty sure he.
Because for me, I just remember he came out of the water and he had it, and I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
I thought that he got that weapon from one of the bad guys he was fighting. Like
no,
they had
he went
those
down
weapons,
but he went down in that. But he went down in that pit, and he didn't have anything on him.
Well, you know, a lot of people go down there. A lot of people die. There's probably some weapons laying around.
I know, but like to me, like from a writing perspective, it's just like lazy. Like I liked the.
No, maybe you're being lazy and not thinking about it more.
I am thinking about it. I'm thinking about how he popped up out of the water and he just all of a sudden had a weapon.
But you didn't think about how many dead people were probably down there and how many weapons.
No, I did, but it's just again.
It could have been a lightsaber down there for all we know.
I think.
You missed it.
What? Did you finish season 3? Yeah. I kept waiting for the dark saber to.
I just forgot about that. Where the fuck was the dark saber?
Did you finish season 3?
I did, but where was it? Does Bo-Katan have it?
I don't fucking. I guess because I would assume that. I would assume that. Yeah,
that should have been in the fucking movie, bro. And I was thinking, dude, I'm so like dumb. I was like, where's his Beskar spear?
Oh yeah,
like yeah, they missed out on that. They could have sold a lot of toys.
Yeah,
they could have sold a lot of toys.
I think as a whole. The biggest
dude.
I think as a whole,
we missed the Darksaber, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah. I think as a whole, my takeaway from this movie was like, I'm not mad. I don't care about Star Wars anymore. But if you're trying to like rejuvenate the franchise, I don't think this was the way to do it. I understand why they did it, because the Mandalorian and Grogu is like the most successful thing that Disney Star Wars has originally created. But I don't think this was it's not offensive by any means. But
the problem is, sorry to interrupt. The problem with this movie is Disney. It's Disney, bro. It's Disney. Now, Disney has the money. Disney's the bank, okay?
Speak up to your mic.
Disney is the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the bank, that's fine. But when you start trying to be the writer, that's where it is, like, not good.
Right.
And you can tell that there's elements of Disney, it's like, fingers, pulling strings and things like that. And that's arguably like what the problem is with season 3, because I think like Mandalorian season 1, they're like, yeah, go do your thing. Mandalorian season 2, they're like, do your thing, but they get bigger, right? We're giving you more money.
Yeah,
season 3,
put more cameos in there. Put Ahsoka and Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker.
Once it blew up though, then Disney is like, all right, we're putting more resources towards this, and we're going to put our people on it. And I think that's kind of like where
I'd argue that started to happen in season 2.
And maybe.
I think season 2 was like fairly solid, but it did just start to feel like the cameo show and like setups for other shows, for the Ahsoka show, for the Book of Boba Fett show.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Ahsoka show.
Nor did I.
And I watched the Boba Fett show, but I only watched like the last like episodes that had Mandalorian in it.
Yeah, those are the only 2 I watched.
That
felt like with the end of season 2, like Mando giving Grogu, that was kind of like the emotional closure.
Yeah.
And then they realized they fucked up, and that was their only saving grace with the Star Wars franchise. So they had to like cram in 2 episodes of the Boba Fett show where Boba Fett wasn't even in it, and it was just Mando getting Grogu back.
Dude, that was brutal, bro. But the Boba Fett show, I was not like too much of it. But I have heard that the Andor show is pretty good.
I've watched season 1 of the Andor show. It is pretty good.
I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, it is very good.
What's the premise of it?
It's just it's like it's been such a long time. I only watched it for me and Connor's Star Wars pod, but I wouldn't even say like the show needs to be called Andor. It's really just showing you like how actually fucked up the Empire is, where like this is like the first time they've ever seemed scary and like a problem. Really? I haven't watched season 2. I've heard season 2 is even better than season 1, but season 1 was very, very good.
Yeah.
I think it's the closest Star Wars has gotten to like the quality of Empire.
From what it feels like when I watch it, I wasn't Andor in
Rogue One.
Yeah, it definitely like, which I like Rogue One. I think that's a side of Star Wars that they need to like lean more into.
Like the in-between time of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Also, like what's going on in the world, like other than like the most badass people. Like it's kind of like a spy, like espionage.
Yeah.
Thriller with Star Wars, which I love spy espionage thriller shows. So I want to check it out for sure. But overall, though, what would you rate Grogu or Mandalorian and Grogu?
What would I rate the Mandalorian and Grogu? I'm gonna give the Mandalorian and Grogu. I'd say 4 out of 10, but it wasn't bad. It just didn't really have anything to it to me.
Dude.
So I'd say, like, if it was season 4, I think it'd be pretty solid, but, like, I'll just give it a 5. It was fine. I wasn't, like, sitting there. I don't care about Star Wars anymore.
You give it an F?
It was the most boring Star Wars thing I've ever watched.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10. Because, look, the Rotten Tomatoes score has it like a 58 or something like that for the critic. But then on the audience score, it's at like an 89.
Right.
So, and I think on IMDb, it's rated at like a 7. And I agree with that rating. Like, when I left the theater, like I said, I thought it was fun. There were obviously some elements that like I didn't like, but overall though, it was really entertaining watching Grogu. I'm a fan of him. I know like some people like that are older may like think he's like too childish or whatever. I think he's funny. I like Grogu.
No, I like Grogu.
Love the Mandalorian. I love his look. I may be biased in some way, but overall though, I thought it was fun.
All right. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up then.
Alrighty, George Lucas, if you're watching, buy back Star Wars. I don't know how easy it is, but you should do that. And make sure to buy the Mandalorian rights as well. I don't know if you have those. But leave a comment down below what you thought of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, what you rate it, and also what your thoughts are on the current state of Star Wars and what you think that they should do in the future.
And if you want to check out what we think of the current state of Star Wars, we actually have a current state of Star Wars podcast, which is still valid because this is the only Star Wars movie that's come out since then.
Yeah.
We'll link that at the end of this pod.
Go watch it. Adios.